1.2b, multiplying decimals. Multiplying decimals is done the same as multiplying whole numbers, except we must keep track of the decimal place. You'll see what I mean by this in the examples. So let's jump right into them. Compute 1.24 times 3.25. So like before, we're going to line them up vertically and make sure to get the place values in the same spot. And like before with whole numbers, we start on the far right side and multiply this digit by every other digit. So let's go ahead and do that. 5 times 4 is 20, so 0, and then bring the 2 over. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. Carry the 1 for the 10. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. Now, because there are 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal places in this number, we must move the decimal place over 4. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4. Since there's no number here, we use 0 as a placeholder. So now because we move over 1, we start with a 0. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. And 2 times 1 is 2. And the decimal goes in the same place. We count over 4. Place a decimal. And now for the final number, we have 2 zeros. And 3 times 4 is 12. So we write a 2, carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And 3 times 1 is 3. And again, we count over 4 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we add up the numbers just like before. So remember, the total number of decimal places we count over is always the total number of decimal points in the entire problem. So adding the zeros column is pretty easy. That's just 0. 2 plus 8 is 10. Carry the 1. 6 plus 4 is 10. 12, 13. So we write a 3 and carry the 1. 2 plus 7 is 9. Plus 1 is 10. Carry the 1. And we bring down the 4. And then we count over 4 decimal places, or just when we're adding, we just bring the decimal place straight down. And when we have decimals, we can ignore trailing zeros. So this is actually 4.03 as our final answer. So let's move to a more real-world application. We need 23.5 gallons of gas that costs $2.90 per gallon. How much will this cost in total? So you could probably just punch this on your calculator, but it's good to know how to do it by hand. So again, we write out each number vertically, 23.5 times, make sure to get the place value correctly. So this is 2.9. Careful. We want the ones place and the ones place in this number to match up. It would be a mistake to put the 2 here. So then again, we multiply this like normal. 9 times 5 is 45. So we carry the 4. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 4 is 31. Carry the 3. 9 times 2 is 18, plus 3 is 21. So since there are 2 decimal places in total in this problem, we move the decimal place over 2. And since we're moving to the 2 now, we have a 0 to start out with. 2 times 5 is 10, 0, carry the 1. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7, and 2 times 2 is 4. And then again, we move over 2 decimal places because there's 2 decimal places in the problem total. And we add like normal. So 5 plus 0 is 5, 1 plus 0 is 1, 1 plus 7 is 8, and 2 plus 4 is 6. And we bring the decimal place straight down. So our answer is $68.15 is going to be what this fill-up costs.